Hey, Paul. Can you,
Hey, how's it going?
all right. You can hear me okay?
Yeah,
All right.
how about me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, cool. So you go by Scotty or you go by Scott?
Scotty.
Scotty, cool.
It could be either way, doesn't matter. And I just
Awesome.
saw Seth there. So let's see if we get Seth. Hey, Seth. Can you hear me? Oh,
Hello?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. And then let me get, oh, okay. It's already recording.
Nice.
So, hi, this is my first time. My name's Scotty. All right.
Scotty.
I guess we can get started. Yeah, I guess so. So this is all new to me, but I'll let you guys know. So what I wanted to do was start something called Stage Diving with Scotty.
Oh,
And the thing is, I've been a musician all my life, or I should say music lover all my life. And I'm also in a band, The Spacing Effect. No,
nice.
shameless plug.
Yeah.
We just got our shirt, so I'm kind of excited. Um, and so what I wanted to do is I've been, for as long as I've been involved with music, because I've been in bands and stuff, I've wanted to capture um, what drove people to where they are now.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind of an interview in a way, but it's also just telling about all the things that led up to where you are now as far as all music. You know, it could
Cool.
be, yeah, there could be movies involved too, because I grew up with movies as well. I knew you guys are movie nerds and that kind of stuff, because I am too. I saw a little bit of your interview with the gentleman named Eric.
Yeah,
So I got a little bit of a feel for you guys. So
good.
anyways, if you want to introduce yourselves, again, this is the very first thing. So introduce yourselves and what you guys do in the band, and we'll go from there.
Seth, you want to go first?
Sure. My name is Seth. I live with my wife and dog in North Carolina. I do guitar and bass and singing and the mixing and kind of the production part.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And I'm Paul. I do the other 5% of the band.
That's not
I,
true.
I do the drums. And I mean, I guess I kind of like do the managing and stuff and the social media
So you kind of
handling.
do what I do with Spacing Effect. Aaron kind of does all the mixing and recording, and I just
Yeah.
kind of do the social media stuff. So yeah, I
Yeah,
get you.
Seth's all the talent and ideas, and then I'm just like, hey, like check out this stuff we made.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
like what I do with Aaron. Aaron does very similar, and he just goes, okay, you do with that, I'll do the music. Okay.
It's a symbiotic relationship though. Like I could not do Grandpa Loves Rhinos without Paul. Paul couldn't do it with me. Like it's we need both of our kind of the things that we bring to the table. I would say marketing is the other thing. I think the word that Paul was looking for, besides the drums, the marketing stuff.
yeah. I'm a more the name the band kind of guy, you know. In the movie The Rocker, have you guys seen that one?
No, I have not seen that one.
It's a good one. Yeah, the drummer is like, you know, he named the band, and that's kind of all he
That little extra, like that thing you do, the bass player, That's all he was, the bass player. Well, speaking of, okay, so I know you guys you have Grandpa, yeah, Grandpa Loves Rhinos.
Yeah.
How many names? Because this is something that's been kind of a joke with the Spacing Effect. Is how long did it take you guys to get to that name?
Mm.
Pretty quickly, or did it take a couple of like?
I think it was I think it was like a few days or a week where we were kind of like, hey, let's start a new project, and we are trying to come up with something just kind of weird and that would stand out. Do you remember some of the ones that we kind of were throwing around? Like,
Um,
I remember two of them.
there's one. mm, I don't know if it was for this one because we've had a lot of different projects. I think one of them was. I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping. It's the
Is that
dishwasher.
laundry or dishwasher? Oh,
Dishwasher. Yeah, it was running for a second. Anyway, one of them was I think Condor flies kite or something like that.
That was
Condor
Condor 8 Kite.
Condor ate kite.
I like
Condor ate
that.
kite. Yeah.
Was it just a mixture of like whatever came to mind, or was it something actually that kind of
Weird
came
words.
There
just
was
weird words?
yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. There was
Because
no.
our previous project we did while we were in college, we were kind of like, hey, we can, just put something together. We were kind of making fun of all the long name emo bands and long names of the emo songs. So our previous project was called Blue Cadet and the Brave December, because we were like, we got to have a color and a month.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That's a great name. I like that name.
And then another one I liked was like Move Over Tank Driver or something.
Oh, I can't remember that one. I don't remember that one. It sounds like something we'd come up with though. But yeah, I think Paul's right. It was only like a couple of days or so before. Okay. Paul mentioned Grandpa Loves Rhinos and was like, yeah, let's just go with that. It's good.
Just kind of gave in at that point, or
yeah. It was just, it's good enough that works on a couple different levels, at least in my mind. Yeah, let's just use that and go.
Yeah. And obviously, Grandpa Loves Rhinos is pretty on the nose. It's pretty self-explanatory. For at least what I saw from your interview, your grandpa just loved everything about rhinos, and
it was insane the amount of like collection like that he had about rhinos, and just a thing that he just loved rhinos.
Did he actually like involve himself with anything in particular, like a zoo, or just was he a lot of traveling or anything like that? He just go pet a rhino.
I don't know. I mean, he was in mining. That was his career. But yeah, he would just tell us about his favorite rhino, the white rhino.
Yeah, he was a geologist. He was a geologist, so I think he liked a lot of things about Earth and nature. He wasn't like I wouldn't call him like an ecologist or like kind of a tree hugger by any means. He was a lot more Republican, that kind of mindset, but something about the rhino, I don't know why he just liked the rhino so much, but after he passed away, we got a lot of his rhino kind of collection memorabilia stuff, and now there's like rhinos all over in the I make music. There's like some on my desk, there's some on the
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that. Was that his or is that yours?
Yeah, that was his. He had a few of them, but
oh my lord, that's
just
amazing.
anything people would see, like ties or like figurines or pictures or action figures, like they would just buy it for him, and he'd have a whole room. It's called the Rhino Room in his house, and full of rhinos.
Wow. Did anybody else kind of like share that kind of love with him, or was he pretty like it was very his esocentric, or whatever the word is? I can't see that word.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it was just him. Like
it was just him.
Just him. He was just into rhinos. Everyone was like, okay, it's the rhino thing. Okay.
Just, I'm sure he was like, yeah, boys love movies. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so with that aside, because I'm sure people wanted to know that, I apologize. And I know you'll probably be saying it throughout every interview you get. What's the name about?
Use that.
We get that with the spacing effect too. So, okay. So, one of the things, those dishes are really dry.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I can still hear you. Keep going. I'll turn that off.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I think it's funny actually. I'm not one of these guys that things have to be perfect, because sometimes I could be a bumbling idiot. So, noises, kids. I'm sure my kids will probably bust in at one point or another.
How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old with autism, and then I have a very energetic 10-year-old. So
Nice.
to juggle them is like interesting.
Oh man, I just put my 7-month-old down to sleep just right before this. I was like praying. It's like, please go to sleep.
7 months, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gosh. Oh, when they could sleep and not say words, that was so nice. Instead of, yeah, Dad, okay, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know how to. I'm still working this out, but and that's fine. Some of the stuff I can edit out, but it's just like one of the things I want to ask you guys. I don't have my glasses on because there's a huge glare, but I do have some questions.
Sure.
Like as in, so I knew you guys were signed with Indie Vision Music, and Paul, you introduced me, suggested, well, how we met up, right, was just the labeled podcast or the label page.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
like old tooth and nail kind of stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
And I saw my friend Jeff Morgan. He's from high school.
Yeah, I recognize the name.
Yes, and he said something about, you know, there's not really a lot of good punk out nowadays. I think named a few. There's a few suggestions and stuff, and then there was the mention of, you know, Grandpa Loves Rhinos. And in the end, you mentioned something, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And I listened to, I can't remember I think it was Gimme Gimme. I think that was the first one I listened to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, there's something here. I like this. It's got catchy. It's got that good punk vibe that, you know, I kind of miss from high school and stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I think from there I was like, okay, I want to check out more. So then I checked out the rest, which was What We Used to Do, Fostering Patience for Patients. And so I watched some of the lyric videos. So on some of those, how did you do this for the lyric videos? Did you just have someone who would go out and just take a drone and shoot some of that stuff, or was it just like stock footage, or how did you guys end up doing that?
Yeah, it's a lot of me just doing like stuff I can find, stock footage that's, you know, copyright free stuff that people have, and trying to piece it all together to kind of tell the story. But yeah, and then I just, you know, put the words over it with my video editing, and it's nothing too crazy, but it's something, you know, and it's fun.
No, it was I'm like, that's a good lyric video. I did my first one for one of our songs, and I was going, gosh, this is such a pain, because I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm playing it by ear, and it turned out decently, but mine were all like, you know, screenshots or pictures we already had, but blending it in. But yeah, that's kind of a tricky thing. So when I saw yours for both of the What We Used to Do in the Ministry of Aquaman, I was going, wow, how did you do all this? Like, as far as like, were you just into aerial footage, or, you know, what was the deal with that? So
yeah, like I mean, I think it's like Pixabay or Pixabay or something like that, and there's some other like free copyright sites that you know, I'm trying to like, hey, I'm got a general theme, and then I'll search for that kind of stuff. So I made another one for one of our new songs that'll probably be coming out next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the album's coming out next week, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Finally. Ever.
How long has it taken to now? Is this going to have? Is it going to be EP, or is this like a full length?
We're calling it full length. I think you could argue it's kind of halfway between an EP and a full length. I mean, it's 8 songs, so I guess it depends on what your definition of a full length is. It's just definitely more than our previous EP, which was only 5 songs. So in some way, it's at least longer than the previous one. I think it's like 35 minutes, something like that. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's definitely more than our first one.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's all new stuff. It's nothing like repeated or remixed.
Right.
All brand new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, all brand new stuff.
We were kind of fishing with that too, as far as like, do we go with 8 songs? Do we go with 9 songs for our new album, which is, like you guys, taking forever. and just like you, Seth, I'm the same way. I'm like, oh man, my voice, you know, because I know you're talking about yelling, and my yelling's more like. I feel like it's, what's his name from Youth of Today? Do you ever listen to old school hardcore punk?
Youth of the Day. That doesn't sound familiar.
Youth
to me,
of Today, or Gorilla Biscuits, or Judge.
No, I don't know. I don't think I've familiar with any of those. I think I've heard of Gorilla Biscuits. I think I may have heard of them, but besides that, no, never. No.
No, that's all right. It's what I grew up on. So that's some of the punk that I grew up on. Like
Gotcha.
Minor Threat, you know, you've heard of Minor Threat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of along that sort of scene when it was all kind of getting big. But anyways, mine's more of it's not these cool vocal fry stuff and, you know, like North Lane or whatever you can, you know, go to Spotify and find. But I'm the same way. I scream or I yell and I go, oh, it just sounds like crap. Just forget it. Add some distortion and it'll sound fine.
Yeah, I imagine if someone who wasn't used to watching like the recording process, if someone was sitting on a couch watching me record my TV, they would just laugh. They would just laugh so hard at like I have to get a chair. Like I bring a chair off to the side here.
Yeah.
see it. I got a chair here. I have to put my leg up on the chair. For whatever reason, I have to like grab my shirt. I have to like stand in a very specific way so that when I scream, my stomach doesn't give out. It's like it's. And it probably just looks ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous too.
Oh yeah, I bet. Oh, because when I'm recording my vocals, my wife or my mother-in-law will always be like, "They're gonna fix that in recording, right?"
That's not how it's gonna actually sound, right? Like,
yeah, you fix it, put a little something on it. Yeah. No, I totally hear you, dude. It's very similar with me. I've always been that way, even with like stuff that I've written for myself that's not spacing effect. It's very old school, I hate to say emo, but like emo,
yeah.
like Sunny Day Real Estate, David Bazan, Pedro the Lion, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, speaking of, and that's some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. So let's start with you, Seth. What was, when you guys growing up together, obviously, what was was music played in the house? Was it on the radio all the time? Was music a big part of your upbringing, or was it just something you guys kind of found on your own, or how did that work out for you guys?
Neither of our parents played any musical instruments. I don't think our grandparents played any musical instruments. The way that we got into music, first, I think in the 6th grade, I decided to do middle school band instead of choir, which required like playing an instrument, and I had no clue what I was about to do. So I wanted to play the trumpet, and I got really into playing the trumpet in middle school band. And around the same time, we watched a movie called That Thing You Do that Paul kind of mentioned on the other interview. And I think that inspired us that we need to start a band for sure, in order to do exactly what the band in That Thing You did. So I think it was like probably middle school, so like 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that, where I wanted to learn how to play guitar. Paul wanted to play drums, and we started taking lessons, and that was definitely the start of how it kind of all happened. A mix of getting into music in like school, like playing just a horn instrument, and then watching that movie, and also listening to bands like Blink-182, which was probably the first band that I remember hearing their sound and being like, I don't know what is going on in that, but yeah. I just like it and I want more of that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the start of how it kind of all happened. Paul might have
was that Dude Ranch, or around with Dude Ranch being popular, or was that one of the later ones?
That was, I think Enema of the State is, okay. I think it had come out like within the year of all of what I just mentioned happening.
Oh, okay.
But it was off of the a Now CD, Now 3 or Now 2, you know, like Now.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's right.
That's what I call music. Yeah.
Yes.
So we somehow got that. Limp Bizkit was on there. There were some other songs that we just weren't, like we didn't watch MTV or anything for a while, and it was just music that we hadn't heard before. That because like when we were growing up, like I said, our parents didn't play music, and they listened to strictly like country music, from like the best I remember of like when we're moving around, driving the car, just listening to country music. So that's all we knew. And so when I heard Now 3, I just wanted more of that, whatever that sound.
But how did you fall into the Now compilation?
Paul got it somehow. It was Paul's
birthday or Christmas. One of my, I can't remember where we got it. Yeah.
Was it another family member, or?
I don't. Yeah, maybe it probably wasn't from our our parents. It must have been like from like a friend or some other like aunt or uncle or something like that.
Yeah.
Who must have sent it. It might have been like an aunt or uncle, or a cousin maybe. I don't know. But
were they just like, hey guys, you need to expand your horizons? Country's a little.
Here's all the newest hits these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember like we did cross country and we'd do like kind of trips on a bus, and they'd play the radio, and everybody had like a a CD Walkman type thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like kind of where I had a I got a CD player, and then people were like, hey, you know, let's get him some CDs for his CD player. And we'd listen to it on the bus as we went to our cross country and track meets. And so I remember the first CD that I actually like went out and bought was Smash Mouth's Astro Lounge, because it had All Star on there. Because I think I wonder if All Star was on one of those Now, on that Now CD as well.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
And that was so that was the first CD you actually bought?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then and then kind of that opened up the door for the whole, you know, early 2000s alt rock, like Third Eye Blind, Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh wow, yeah.
Stuff like that.
From the very beginning and even now, me and Paul both have very similar music tastes. We've kind of diverged a little bit, but I think it's in like the kind of music we each like now is kind of in the same realm, emo, screamo, kind of pop punk, or hard rock. We're kind of both into that, but yeah, like the thing is, Paul had the CD player before I did. So if I wanted to listen to something on a CD player, like or whatever he had, I mean, I didn't like have a CD before I had a CD player. So if Paul has a CD player, then probably going to listen to what he has. Yeah. Eventually, when I got a CD player, I think the first CD that I bought or was given as a gift or whatever, I think was Lit. Something about
that's right.
Place in the Sun, I think, with the one with My Worst Enemy on it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the first one, it was one of the first ones. And even now, Paul has always been like the one that kind of knows about more of the bands. I want to like always searching for new bands, and I feel like Paul was more like that as well back in the day. So he'd be the one with the giant book, you know, like you flip it.
Yeah, little CD cases that are just like ginormous. Yeah.
You got a bunch of CD cases and you're flipping through it. So
yeah, there you go. And you're like, oh crap, which one is this? Is it volume 1, volume 2?
Those are all the old ones. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember feeding off each other. We, you know, when Blink-182 would come on the radio, we'd like run downstairs and just turn it full blast, and like we'd just kind of just get in the zone of like pretending that we were in this band, and I remember that a lot, doing that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have so for me stuff I grew up on was a lot of off the radio. So every time we'd go to the beach and, you know, always hear Beatles, a lot of the oldies and that kind of stuff. And that was always the kind of thing for me. And then as I got older, it became my older brother, gradually, because we were brought up in the church. And so a lot of early stuff that we got into was like some really bad, cheesy Christian metal rock, even like cheap imitations of, you know, like Mega Life or Holy Soldier, you know, these kind of things. And, you know, not the dog in it, but it was stuff that was like, oh, okay, it's got a hard guitar in it. Yeah. So then it grew up from like Bloodgood to Vengeance Rising to Tourniquet to all this kind of stuff. And like you were saying, my little brother Billy, he's actually a stuntman, but he does play drums. And we used to set up a camera, that big old camera, right in front. We'd have Tourniquet playing in the background. I have the ongoing joke for me is that one of my first guitars is a very pink guitar that a friend lent to my mom for me to use. And I just play this Tourniquet song and be so dramatic with the flames and, you know, and my brother's in the background hitting, you know, paper plates. And anytime he would hit one accidentally, I'm like, what are you doing? You know, you know, so the song's supposed to stay there. But it's just funny that's what I'm trying to, that's what it's about, is that feeling of, you know, we want to be like rock stars. We want to also express how we feel through this hard music, you know, and it just grew, it went on from there and there. But yeah, the imitating other bands and other songs and doing it in front of the camera kind of was that little like a snack sized bite of what we want it to be, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, we totally did that as well.
Yeah. We had an unfinished basement in our house, and like in high school we were in like this really weird kind of band. It was called the Famous Underground, which I don't think had any songs put out ever anywhere. But we eventually got into like a kind of a pop punk band in high school, and it was with two other guys, and they'd come over and we just go in the basement and do that the exact same thing. Get a little tripod, set it up, put a camera up there, and like play like cover songs of Blink-182 or whatever else, and watch it back to see how cool we looked.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like you plug it into the TV and you watch it. I mean, I guess you could, but you could just flip open the little screen on the camera and watch the grainy, terribly lit, really hard to hear and understand, just sound of garbage coming out of the camera speaker.
Do you still actually have those? Do you ever go back, or they can't find them, or?
They probably exist somewhere, maybe in our mom's house somewhere, but I haven't watched them in forever. I don't know if I'd want to. Probably.
Yeah, come on, you'd want to, just to see how bad it was, how cringeworthy.
Before I got an actual like electric guitar, we made a cardboard guitar.
Yeah.
Just literally, like we had like a stencil and like it was like the size of an actual guitar, but it was just literally made out of cardboard, and we had like a big old piece of paper that we also cut out the same shape and like I think we put like some sort of twine or something to make strings, and like had a strap. It was essentially I've got to be like, I don't know, probably in middle school, maybe 12, 13 years old, like with a cardboard guitar playing nothing in front of me while Paul's, I can't remember what Paul was doing with drums. I don't even know if he had a drum set, but like a snare drum at least, maybe just playing on a snare drum. Yeah, just a snare drum first.
Do you remember that, Paul?
I do, yeah. That's fun.
That's the stuff that I love. I love going back to that kind of stuff, or those kind of memories, because I mean, it's very similar to what we would do with a friend of mine named Josh Blevins. He my friend Kane, and I think again a few other people, and we would just the same thing. We just kind of set up in front of Josh's yard every Saturday morning, or every other Saturday morning. Set up the camera. But we actually had, guitars and amps, but but they're in like this big field, and we're out in the front yard, and I'm sure we're driving everybody crazy that are surrounding the area, but we're enough distance that we weren't, ticking anybody off. But and just play old Blame songs, play Deftones songs, really crappy versions of them, but nonetheless, we were having fun. Yeah. And then, like you said, Seth, we'd go back and watch, oh man, that sounds really, oh yeah, that part was really good. But yeah, it's the most worst. It's terrible. I mean, we were playing the songs, yes, but as far as sound quality, it was just crap. Yeah. But again, I think that's what's so fun is you went from doing a cardboard version of a guitar because you were so passionate about doing it, and then later on finally getting a guitar, teaching yourself. Paul, getting into drums and loving it. I mean, how was it having your first drum set?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I remember I bought it off eBay or something for like $300, and I just like remember trying to play it for the first time, and I was taking lessons, but it was like very rudimental stuff, and just putting on headphones and trying to play along and just emulating whatever I could figure out. And you remember tabs? Tabs was a big thing. Like
yeah,
like they had drum tabs for different songs, and they were trying to play like Creed and stuff like that.
Yeah. Haven't heard those words in a long time, or that word, I should say.
Yeah. I was like, man, if I could play this Creed song, I would make it. I would be there.
That's like the mindset you're at.
Yeah. Wasn't that around the time when like Nickelback was just kind of getting popular too?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what is this?
Oh, we got upgraded.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird.
Unlimited minutes.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's your first time or something. I don't know.
Oh, I won't keep you guys too much. I'll try to aim for the 40-minute range.
Sure. I'm good.
Okay. Hold on. So I got some questions. Oh, it's actually, I want to ask this before a little bit further on your guys' uh, evolution of music. But I wanted to ask about Andrew. How do you say his last name? Alajapan?
Yeah, Alojapan, I think.
Alajapan?
Alojapan.
Was he? Now I know he was on Fostering Patience for Patients.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, was that your guys' call, or was that Indie Vision Music's call?
Yeah,
Or
that
his
was.
call? Was it his call?
No, it was. I mean, I guess I kind of met Andrew kind of through just social media, through Indie Vision Music. I think they, you know, put news about his band or something. So I really dug his music. Became friends on Facebook. We, you know, kind of talking back and forth. And I just asked him, I was like, hey, you want to, I was trying to get some more collaboration going, try to kind of build our networking and, you know, try to get some more fans for us, fans for him. So I asked him, I was like, hey, you know, would you do a guest vocalist part? And he was all about it. And he you know, we sent him the part and he did it and it was awesome. And I mean, that's kind of it. So, and then we got another one, another song has another guest vocalist. We were trying to, I got Jake from The Burden. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I haven't heard of them.
They're kind of like a post-hardcore band from Canada. That same thing I found out, I think, on the Labeled Podcast Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
Like, man, I really like your band. Like, you guys sound awesome. And so we kind of talked, and I hit him up, and he was all for it. So he went in and did a part for us as well. So, and then we basically just gave the songs to, you know, Brandon at Indie Vision Music to say, hey, here's our collection of songs, and will you put this out? And he was all about it.
And that's been good, like your guys' association with indie music or indie music.
Like the Indie Vision Music, like they I mean, they let us do whatever, as far as in like the music that we want to make. Like we get to do whatever we want and then send it to Brandon, and if he likes it, then he'll put it out. But like for this album, I don't even think we told Brandon that we were making it until it was like almost done, if not done, like towards the end.
Surprise!
Yeah, hey, we probably should have told you about this earlier, but here you go. Let's do it. And yeah, so he listened to it and liked it, and we went with it.
Yeah. But
does he ever? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, so we were talking with him on our first EP he put out as well, and so we were really happy with kind of the response we got. He was able to help us get our music out there. We got some few spots on some, you know, internet radios like Broken FM. We got some songs on there still. So he's been helping doing that network, trying to push the promotion and do the best he can to get stuff out there. And he handles a lot of the merch stuff, so he's able to make, you know, physical copies of our CD and kind of handle that shipping and everything. He's got that all set up for his Indie Vision Music site. So that's really awesome for people to be able to get that stuff when, you know, I'm not set up to do that right now.
Yeah. Did you guys design your own shirts and merch and stuff, or was that kind of his call too?
Yeah. It's a lot of our stuff. I mean, I designed most of the shirts, and then we had Brian Middleton, who again I just met on social media through
the Labeled thing, or
maybe
something else?
Or no, I think it was something else. Maybe the Christian pop punk and melodic punk rock group. I can't remember, but we were all like, yeah, we're like, hey, you know, what does everyone do? What's your occupation? And he was like, oh, I'm an artist. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I hit him up, and he did our first EP, and then he did this one too, because we wanted that continuity and we liked his art.
It is cool. I love the art throughout each EP or each song, you know, that kind of thing. That's yeah. I love that that's a thing now. That my friend Gilbert, he just released his stuff is more like old school punk, kind of Social Distortion kind of a style, Rancid kind of a thing, and he's an artist as well. And I love that each time he does a release, and just the fact that even this is a thing now, is new covers for each single.
Yeah.
I like that there's a little variety there. You can give a shout out to your friend who does art, or does a person who does great photography, and they take a cool picture of you or something that's cool, and you can use that as like your cover of that single. Yeah. So I think that's pretty neat, at least as far as like Spotify. I'm talking about Spotify. I don't know if they did other formats or whatnot, but
Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying kind of that networking and supporting kind of, do it DIY artists. We had one of my other friends kind of do the video, the teaser video for the album announcement. So he would, he does video stuff. So I got him to do that.
Was that the one with the guy sitting on the couch playing games?
No,
That was a different one.
Yeah, that was just stock footage.
I really need to look this up.
My buddy Jeff, yeah.
Do you guys actually plan on doing an actual music video for one of your songs, or are you just kind of sticking with?
I've been kind of thinking about it, and I feel like it would be pretty tough.
Yeah, we'd have to be
especially now.
Area. Yeah, I was thinking like if we were gonna make a music video with a song, I think I would want to make that song such that it would tie into a music video really well. I'm not like a huge fan of music videos that are just like the band playing and there's like there's no real purpose of the music video other than looking at something.
Yeah.
Which I would argue a lyric video is just as good. So I think if we were going to make a music video, I'd want to know or think about it beforehand in order to try to make some sort of additional
like
feeling
narrative.
Out of the just like the narrative would have to match with whatever's going on in the music video, because I'd probably leave things out of the words in the music video if I could convey them in the I would leave words or lyrics out of the song that could otherwise be conveyed in the music video, like by watching it and have them kind of linked a little bit. Making the music video after the fact, I think, would be kind of tough. I guess people do it all the time, but I just don't know how I would do it.
And speaking of the videos, I think it'd be humorous to see how you guys would do if you were to do one for the brand new song, which is freaking fantastic, by the way. What's the title again? I forgot the names. Is it the one for the gaming or?
Yeah, it's got to be the gaming.
It's got to be the gaming. Yes.
Yep. We were gonna call it video games cause violence, but apparently that I can understand why it would probably turn people off before they even turned it on to understand what the song is about. But yeah, it's got to be the gaming.
I think the part that there was one part when I first heard it, I went to SoundCloud and I listened to it, and one little moment that I giggled was a vampire underwater vampire.
Oh
no, that was a different song. No, shoot, what was it? Yeah, that was Aquaman song, right? Sorry, I forgot to mention that killed me. I don't know why I started giggling about that. Oh shoot, I forgot it was, but yeah, but just all your references and how I know it's like serious, but like I mean, tones of seriousness. But I love the just the illustrations you guys put into the songs, especially that one was very, because you're mentioning a lot of old school like games and stuff, which I grew up on, and some of it kind of now, especially it was the Angry Birds part that kind of got me chuckling a little bit. But I liked how you put it in, because everything you're saying, it's very fitting to what's going on now and stuff that happened before. But yeah, there's a tone of humor to it, which is fun. Just like some of your other songs have a hinge of humor with it, but yet, thought provoking, and which I really like. And again, your guys' songs, like the music's great. The harmonies are great. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of candy as far as like, little parts with little, your drumming to your guitars, to the singing, to the melodies. It's very appealing. And again, with the new song, which is like, dude, you guys are all going to get better.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I hope we do. Thanks. The like in my mind, as far as in like how we can exist in a world field of so many bands. There's just a billion bands in the world. I feel like my guitar playing is adequate. Like it is mediocre. I think Paul's drumming is above average. Like he's pretty freaking good at drumming. But like as far as my guitar playing, bass playing, and singing, it's like, okay. Like the way that we can be different in the world of bands is putting more emphasis in the lyrics. Like at least for me personally, my mixing abilities, I have no clue what I'm doing. but I mean, Paul's drumming's really good. Everything that I do, I feel like is mediocre. But the way that I feel like we can be a better band than just the run of the mill is if we have a little bit of depth in our songs, as far as in the like the lyrics we use. That like that's kind of my. It's like the only way that we can compete, if you will, with other bands.
That. No, and that's a good point, because you know who's a good example of that in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at a lot of the hardcore stuff now, like the metalcore, all these different metals. Holy crap, there's so many metals. And one of the bands that stands out to me is He Is Legend. So He Is Legend. You guys heard of He Is Legend?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're amazing. But what's puts them off different than other hardcore bands is it's like the southern rock with new metal. And then Skylar, the lead singer, his style kind of goes up and down, and it's kind of humorous too, because he does a lot of storytelling as well. And that's what puts it off different than like when you just throw on like As I Lay Dying or you know, here's your hardcore band, pick a name.
Yeah.
But that's what stands out. Like you hear a lot of these bands that sound very similar, have a similar sound, have a similar you know, We're Angry at the World, which is fine. I mean, I like some of that stuff. But then you get bands to me like He Is Legend, where they got a little more personality in their performance and in their lyrics. And I don't know, and I think that stands out more. And I think, like you're saying, have a punk band too that has, especially nowadays, that kind of carries like the old school with the new. And to carry on the lyrics that you have, where they got, again, there's personality and there's something to say, and it's colorful. It's really it's pleasant to see when you got something new, like you were saying, Paul, just figure out new bands. So I think that's why I'm excited too, is that hearing a new band and being excited about it is kind of rare, especially for someone who's really good. And then, in fact, that you even reached out, or we even had a conversation to even get some of this kind of started, was it's very encouraging to see that people are still out there trying to find other bands, wanting to communicate and, you know, maybe hook up, whether doing a podcast or even just communicating online, just to chat. It's really cool. And you guys, I think you guys stand out. And I think, again, you guys will get even better from where you're at now to where you'll be in the future. It'll just be really cool to see what happens.
Well, I appreciate all those words. It's like really encouraging, and glad that there's someone out there that is hearing our band, you know.
Yes.
Cool.
Hopefully Brandon hears this and goes, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on these guys.
Yeah. But I mean, just kind of the way we conduct ourselves with music is just the way we have to, just because we're separated. You know, this is kind of what works for us. And to get our music out there, I mean, like, I don't know other ways other than networking and social media to just, like, it's kind of, we gotta build those relationships.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a lot of part of sharing music and actually being genuine about, like, you know, I do a lot of self-promotion just because it's like, I don't know how else to do it. But if you can kind of build, you know, this kind of family of bands and network of people that you actually, you know and talk to, it seems a little bit easier for that self-promotion to then get trickled out into other people. And it doesn't feel just like you're just kind of shoving your band in front of people.
Yeah, it helps, and it helps when you really like other bands, is when you actually like the band too. There's some bands that, you know, I like and help like to promote, and there's other people like I really like one of the bands that our management does, or not mine, sorry, the band is the Spacing Effect is the gentleman's band is Freedom Heart Song, and he's very bluesy, you know, folksy rock, like just got a great groove to his music. And when I heard him, I wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to promote him. Like, I listened to this EP. I'm like, yeah, this is good, man. This is really good, people. It's just, and plus he's got and he's very positive in his stuff too. I mean, Spacing Effect, I mean, we got some positive stuff, but a lot of it's, you know, complaining like other people. But it's just nice. Yeah, it's nice to interact, because I've been interacting with him, and he's just a really cool guy. I love the feel of his music and just who he is, and it's always fun to do that. And now, like, I've been talking with you guys and Paul on the computer. It's really nice to put faces to the band, you know, and nice to know you guys are chill and easy going and for y'all, you know, well-rounded guys. So I mean, I'd be glad to, you know, keep in touch and you know, see if maybe you guys could guest spot on a spacing effect song.
So. Collab, a little collaboration.
Yeah. We haven't done that yet. There's been talk, but I think it's more on my end. I've really wanted to get AJ from the Dangerous Summer. I guess he has something where you can kind of pay to have him do guest vocals.
Oh, nice.
Because I love his voice. I love the way he sings. He's got such a raw voice, and then when he sings, it's just, I don't know, something about it. But anyways, that would be cool. Anyways, well, we're at our a little over 40 minutes here, and I wanted to do something. I don't know if you guys want to do it too, but if you guys would be up for it, was to do a last thing where name a new band that you're really into or that you've discovered that you like, and then let's start with that, and then I'll test this other part out. What's a new band, Paul, for you that's standing out right now to you?
Ooh, let's see. Well, I would have said Kept on Hold and The Burden, but I already mentioned them, and they're guest vocalists on our CD. So I will say another one. The band is called Brave Days.
Brave Days.
Brave Days. They're on Honey Gold Records. It's I guess it's like kind of pop punk. I'm really bad at the genre naming, but right. They just put out a new, I think it's an EP, so a few months ago.
Okay.
Check that, Brave Days.
Brave Days. I got them put on my Spotify. So this is for my note too, because I love, you know, finding new bands. So what about you, Seth?
Man, I am not nearly as good at finding bands as Paul is. I don't know if they're maybe not new, but there's a band called Transit that I don't think exists anymore, that I found kind of recently, and they're like biggest. I think their biggest album is called Joyride, but Transit. They're just kind of like an alternative rock type band, not like punk or hardcore or anything like that. Just kind of like, they kind of feel like a 90s band to me, but a little bit more modern sounding, I guess you could say. But yeah, Transit, so I'd say.
I'm definitely cool with that, because that's how I feel like we are. We're like the 90s, late 2000s or early 2000s kind of grunge a little bit. So yeah, I'm all for that. Have you guys heard of, oh, by the way, that's what's so funny. That's what sucks sometimes, when you find out about a band and they're broken up and you're like, what? That's how I felt about when I first heard that Woe Is Me was over. And I just discovered them. It's like maybe 4 years ago or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, dang it. I should have seen them before they broke up. But now, have you guys heard of, my suggestion is, have you guys heard of the band called Narla? No?
How do you spell that?
So it's, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's backwards. Sorry. But it's Gnarlah.
Okay, you got it.
All right. And they're from the UK, I believe. And they're going to be big, I think. They've got some freaking great songs. It's very like a kind of like a lower down version of like the metalcore in a way, but they're like alternative, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like they got a good edge to them, but very melodic, good choruses, some cool riffs. It's nice, you know, when you hear a good riff, you know, which is fine. They carry that pretty well. But I wanted to try this too. So Paul, what is your favorite number?
11.
11? Oh boy. Does that have anything to do with Spinal Tap?
No.
Okay. Well, I won't do that then. I was going to say, what I was going to do was take most recent, with no explanations, recently played, and tell what I was listening to. And, you know, whether it be like, you know, deep focus, or something really corny or something really embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
Did you look at it? Did you look at it and see, and then you're like, oh no,
I can't tell them that one.
That's what you did. You have to play it now.
No, but see, here's the thing: is I'm to that point in my life, I don't care. I don't care. You're gonna make fun of me. You're gonna make fun of me. But if you like it, you'll like it. But gentlemen, thank you for your time very much. Paul and Seth, it was nice to finally meet and talk to you guys. And again, I don't know when this is going to go out. I'm hoping to get it maybe out tomorrow or maybe even Monday. But any last things you guys want to say? Anything else you want to promote?
No, just our album's coming out on August 7th. Finally, have a listen to that. Let us know what you think. If you don't like it, give us some feedback.
You don't want the feedback if it's negative.
No, I think I do. I think I want to hear what. Yeah, I do. Right. But besides that, no, that's about it. New album coming out.
Well, yes.
I don't get much negative at all.
Yeah, I feel like any feedback, like we just want that like engagement. That just
True.
If it's bad, I guess it's bad. But yeah, we really appreciate you like being interested enough to talk with us, and I can't get over just how much enthusiasm you have with our songs, and it means so much to us. Like,
cool, man.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, and the name of the album is called
Searching the Sarcasm.
Searching the Sarcasm. That's right. Of course, I have on my notes. That's the one thing I didn't write. Got the name of the other songs. All right. Well, guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and thank you for taking time out of your Saturday for this. But hopefully we'll talk soon again, and hopefully I'll have this little formatted a little better and whatnot. But thank you for being my first as well. So
yeah, it's an honor.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Got it.
Bye.